present. The royal hangar loomed like a cathedral of steel and silence, its vaulted ceiling crisscrossed with scaffolding and steel support beams that shimmered faintly under rows of flickering white lights. The air was sterile, humming faintly with the whine of charging bays and idling generators. Technicians moved briskly along the catwalks above, their footsteps echoing across the cavernous space. At the center of it all stood the Kestrel. It was massive, sleek and predatory, like a black arrowhead poised to strike. Shaped like a windowless commercial airliner, but stripped of ornamentation, the Kestrel bore no visible insignia, no side windows, no tail fin. The only break in its smooth, armored skin came from the glowing blue lines along the wings. Energy conduits, pulsing faintly beneath the hull. Twin advanced engines, mounted low and wide, gave off a low, threatening hum. It looked like it had been built to cut through storms and anything else that stood in its way. "Didn't think they'd actually give us this one," Zephyr murmured, eyes wide. "This is the new stealth line, right? Prototype class?" Ronan gave a low whistle. "It's a beast." Zane stood at the base of the ramp, staring up at the Kestrel like it might bite him. "Looks like a coffin," he muttered. Lira had already moved ahead, her stride unbroken as she marched up the ramp. "Let's not waste time. We're wheels up in 5. The interior of the ship was as stark and utilitarian as the outside. The hangar deck, essentially the main floor, was wide and open, lined with cots, medkits, and a few weapons lockers bolted into the walls. Exposed conduits ran overhead, pulsing with soft blue light. The air inside was cool and smelled faintly of ozone and disinfectant. Zane touched the wall as he stepped aboard, feeling the faint vibration of the engines beneath his palm. "Doesn't feel right," he said under his breath. "You're still thinking about what we saw?" Ronan said. He'd caught the look in Zane's eye. Zane didn't answer. Instead, he moved to one of the metal benches and sat heavily, elbows on his knees, staring at the floor. Lira climbed to the upper level, no words, just duty. The ship rumbled beneath them as the engines kicked to life. Moments later, the Kestrel rose, silently, smoothly, lifting above the hangar and into the night sky. The view from the cockpit, what little could be seen, showed Caelus below, its tiered lights gleaming like a fallen constellation. And far off, barely perceptible beyond the mountains, a faint gold shimmer along the horizon, the Great Barrier. Back below in the hangar, Lira rejoined the others as the ship leveled into cruise. She didn't speak at first, simply surveyed the room, noting the tension in every posture, every breath. Zane stood and rounded on her. "We shouldn't be going to Sierra," he said, voice low but tight. "We should be searching the palace, or with Thea. We don't even know what that shadow was." Lira didn't flinch. "Our orders were clear. Outpost Sierra went dark. We re-established contact and secure the location." "She could be in danger!" Zane's voice cracked, louder now. "And we're flying into deadland while the capital rots." Zephyr looked between them nervously. Ronan shifted his weight but said nothing. "We are soldiers," Lira said flatly, "not vigilantes. You think I don't care what happened back there? You think I don't care about her?" There was a flicker in her voice then, just enough to betray the tremor beneath her calm. The ship jolted, slightly, unexpected turbulence. The deck shivered underfoot. They all reached for stability without thinking. Zane's fists were clenched, his eyes locked on hers. "Then prove it. Let's go back. Let's do something." Lira took a step forward, jaw tight. "This is something." The silence that followed was brittle and raw. Zephyr, quietly, "Maybe we should all breathe for a second." Outside, the sky had darkened further. The glow of the barrier was more pronounced now, unnatural, pulsing. Ronan finally spoke. "We don't even know what we're walking into. Maybe Sierra has answers. Maybe it's not either or." But Zane just shook his head and sat again, the fire in him simmering but unresolved. No one spoke for a long while. In the dim, sterile light of the hangar, each of them sat alone with their thoughts. The hum of the Kestrel was constant, cold, mechanical, purposeful. In the silence, Lira moved quietly to the ladder again. Without a word, she climbed back to the cockpit, and the Kestrel flew on.